My name is Jennifer Miller, and I have over 20 years experience in the pharmaceutical industry. I've worked for biotechnology companies and pharmaceutical companies throughout my career, both in manufacturing and quality assurance. What my perception is of what I think other people's perception is of pharmaceutical companies, especially quality, is that pharmaceutical companies just care about making money and, making people feel like they need to be sick so they can buy their drugs and things like that. And actually, that's not the case. We actually develop and we research and do our best to get drugs to market to help people and save patients' lives. Usually, at least for biotech, there's a good 10 years just in research development before you can even start to even think about even starting a clinical trial. And after all that research is done, you have to have data to support that, and the FDA has to approve that so that you can go into a clinical trial, and you can do an IND, which is a filing through the FDA to go and start a clinical trial. Well, in order to do that, takes a lot of resources, and you've already done 10 years of research. Now you're going to probably do another 10 years of just doing clinical trials and everything to get it commercialized so that the people out there in the public can use it. We follow good manufacturing practices throughout clinical trials. It is required. Granted, you probably don't have the FDA at your doorstep a lot in clinical trials, but if you are a good pharmaceutical company, you want to follow those good manufacturing practices so that nobody gets harmed or sick or anything in the clinical trial, because you'd have to stop it. It would ruin all your research and everything you've done. So quality management is we are the last step, that last verification to make sure your drug, that product is okay to be injected or taken by a patient or in the public. We are that final check. We release all of those products and drugs to the market. We allow people to go through it. We make sure there are no manufacturing errors. We verify everything, and we hold people accountable. And it's a tough job. It's not easy. You're always the bad guy. You're viewed as the bad guy, but it's our job to make sure that everything gets out there and nothing harms a patient. So I don't think the idea is to not make mistakes. I think it's to learn from those mistakes and not allow those mistakes to cause errors that are going to get out to the public. We make mistakes all the time. We just don't release that drug. We just make sure that that doesn't go out, and then you find out, okay, what caused it. There's an investigation, and we do thorough investigations, and there's a process called Plan, Do, Check, and Act, and it's PDCA, and we use it a lot. You plan what you're going to do, then you actually test it, then you do it, and then you check to see if there needs to be improvements. It's a continual cycle that you use to make sure that you're making improvements to all your processes. The purpose of quality management in the pharmaceutical industry is to develop and manage the quality management system and its related processes. Quality management is important to ensure that a company adheres to applicable industry regulations, statutes, laws, and guidelines in the development and manufacturing of a drug product. The main objective of a quality management system is to ensure the strength, identity, safety, purity, and quality of drug product, and these aspects of a drug are consistent. The main objectives of quality management is to offer the assurance that a healthcare professional prescribing or administering a drug is confident of each unit's efficacy. Also, to protect the public against potential hazards caused by accidental manufacturing and design defects, or instructions for product usage and storage. Ensuring compliance with the applicable regulations, and then protecting the product and manufacturer against penalties, negative publicity, loss of credibility, and fiscal losses.